Hey, everybody, welcome back. It is another episode of Dadcast. I'm your host, JP, along with the other host, Nick Martin. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Awesome.
Yeah, you feeling better? You've been sick the last, week.
Dude, it's been like 2.5 weeks, but yeah, I'm feeling kind of a little bit better. I just woke up from a nap, so that always helps.
All right. Well, I have a treat for you today, man, because today's guest, I think you two, when you find some things out, Nick, are going to hit it off real well. Okay? So just a preemptive strike. I don't know if you did a deep dive on our guest today, but yeah, once I do some introductions, you'll understand. Yeah. All right. Today on the show, we have an amazing guest. He is, I'm assuming, the owner, or the owner, the almighty that is Superhuman Fathers, as you can see on his shirt. Please welcome Mr. Kyle Carnohan, man. How are you?
Thank you, guys, man. I didn't know exactly what to expect, but damn, good entrance. I love this. You ready for the explicits? We're gonna fuck shit up.
Okay, all right. Explicit tab duly noted.
My wife. We just put a reel out. And the reel. One of the reels is my wife in the background. We were doing this 24-hour fitness thing with my kids. She's like, Superhuman Fathers has a potty mouth, and that's like it was the beginning of the reel. People trip. They're like, you could talk like that and be a good dad, and I'm like,
yeah, it's amazing, but it all depends on the culture and who you're talking to and how those people were raised. I cuss in front of my kids all the time, and I try not to. I really do, but I just it's born and bred in me.
I try not to, just because my 2-year-old jumps in and starts saying exactly what I'm saying.
It's too late.
Now his thing is when he gets mad at me, he's like, "Fuck you, Dad."
Shut up.
Damn it. Well,
but that's funny though.
Awesome.
But I did something right though in the past, because my kids will not cuss. I mean, my oldest. Yeah, let's back up. Let's do the introductions right. First of all, the first question, the almighty question, the very first one we ask on Dadcast. Kyle, we know the answer, but we got to ask it anyway. Are you a dad?
Yes, sir.
Talk to us. How many kids, boys, girls, names, ages, all that good stuff?
5 of those little suckers, ranging from 16 to 2, 16, 15, 11, and 8 are boys. And then we had a full accidental blowout, and we got this little girl who's become the most beautiful, amazing creature in my life. That you look at her wrong, I will snap your neck.
Yeah, I know the feeling, man.
I love this little girl so much, man.
I love all my kids, but yeah, there's something about that baby girl, man. I know. I know it so much. Today's the first day back at school after spring break, and she wasn't feeling well, so she got an extra day of her spring vacation, and she's right over there inside the house, and maybe she'll come out and you get to meet her. Right on, man. So 5 kids. I was speaking earlier now about the cussing. They won't do it. I'm like to my son, he's 12. I says, dude, I'll give you $5 if you cuss in front of your dad. And he won't do it, but I leave the room and he plays his Xbox or whatever, and it's shit, fuck with his friends. And
we were doing same thing. We were in the middle of that fitness challenge. We were at this guy named Steve Eckert's house, and we were running a mile, doing 100 push-ups, 100 squat thrusts. It's like a burpee without a push-up, and then 100 crawl-outs. And we started at 12 o'clock on Saturday, and we ended at 12 o'clock on Sunday, nonstop for 24 hours. And my kids did it with me. The older ones made it the longest. The little ones kind of petered out around 3 hours and 6 hours. And then my oldest fell asleep at like 2 a.m. My second oldest took a 45-minute nap and then hammered the rest out with us. So he almost made it the whole way. Me and my wife obviously handled our business because we don't fucking quit. But my son, at one point, we're in this emotional, like we're in the war together, and I've got his head against mine. And I'm like, look what we're doing, man. Look at this. Let's fucking go. I'm like, just we're at war together. And I go, it's all right, man. Say it. Let's fucking go. And he's like, no. I was like,
right.
It's okay. You can say it. You can say it. You're a warrior. Dig deep. And he's like, I'm not going to say that, Dad. All right. Well, but then he quit after 6 hours. So if he would have said it, he probably would have finished the whole thing.
Yeah. It's possibly.
There's some mindset stuff there. Listen, my self-talk, the voice that pulls me and pushes me forward, the voice of God, man, people are going to hate me for this. It's a lot of F words in there.
Yeah. And that's all right. At least with us. Yeah, we're all good in that department. Oh, of course. I'm sorry. My daughter is calling literally as
Take it.
The one that's in the house.
Take the call.
I know she's literally in the other room and she knows better. And now my screen's gone. And okay, we're back. All right. Let's get down. You know what? Let make her know real quick. She's right. Hey, podcast. Come here.
God damn it.
You're gonna meet her, and then you're gonna go away.
Listen, when baby girl calls, she gets what she wants.
Come here.
Exactly.
Come here.
How this works doesn't matter. We're in the middle of podcast.
Say hi.
Biggest business deal ever. Doesn't matter. There she is.
Say hi to Kyle.
You know, you're the best thing that's ever happened to your dad. The absolute
That's right.
best thing that's ever happened to your father is you. You know that?
Oh, I'm coming through here. So he said you're the absolute best thing that's ever happened to me, and you, son, right over there. All right,
he's okay.
Let me finish.
He's okay. He's the best.
Okay, man, off the rails right off the bat. All right.
Remember what we talked about in the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's too damn professional, man.
Yeah, I know, but it's hard, man, because I've worked in a professional environment for so long in radio, and I try to have some structure when it comes to these podcasts. But you know what? Fuck all that. You're right.
Yes.
At least when it comes to Kyle today, it's okay.
Yeah,
let's
get loose.
You know, it's all about the guest, and today the guest runs the show. And here we go.
All right.
Before we get to start talking about anything and everything, since we're near the beginning here, I'd like to let our listeners and our viewers and our fans know who is Kyle, what is Superhuman Fathers. Let's get the business out of the way.
All right, man. So Kyle is the same. He's 42, but he's just the same dude he was when he was like 9.
Right.
Like I'm this kid in this grown man's body. Now I've learned a lot of shit along the way, and I've increased my ability to handle stuff. Right. So like I'm the same 9-year-old kid. I can just handle some pressure now. Right. So you can lay it on me and I can carry people. I can lead people. And I've learned the power of leadership by example, character and integrity. All the lessons in my life have come to this point where I'm like, oh, that's it. Lead by example, live with character and integrity. So that's what I've come to. All the other stuff doesn't really matter other than that. That's what matters. Now, that's been how Superhuman Fathers was built. I was in banking for a while. I got destroyed in 2008, lost everything, lost my houses, my cars. And then I became a firefighter paramedic. I did that for 15 years. And I didn't realize in the firehouse I was doing coaching because I had people come to me, man, how do you stay lean? How do you stay healthy? How do you have this relationship with your wife? How do you deal with the stress of life without kicking back drinks all the time? Like, how do you not sedate? How do you have these kids that admire you so much, that listen to you? I just share my life with guys. And then at some point I had a coach that was like, hey bro, why are you not sharing this with the world? And I was thinking, man, I'm just a normal dude. And he's like, you're not a normal dude. You are not. Life is not normal. Nothing about you is normal. And you need to share this. And so I listened. I put it out to the world. 2 years ago, immediately 30, 40 guys within the first month or two, went to 100 within 6 months. We're 2 years deep. We just hit like 476 today. And we're probably, I would imagine, the fastest growing group of our type in the world. I can't imagine there's one growing faster.
And what is that type?
Good question. So this started out as fitness. Like it started out as hit me up, I'll get you ripped. My transformations are insane. If you've seen them, they look impossible. A lot of comments in my stuff is like roid heads, cheaters, liars. I'm like, right. I get it. It looks fake. I understand. It looks impossible. I look at it. I'm like, that's impossible. But the thing is, when you get your mind and your heart and your spirit right, the body just follows. And so what's happened is when you get your mind and your heart and your spirit right, what else happens? You heal your marriage. You heal your self-hate. You start to deal with stuff in the past that you've never faced before. You start being more disciplined. You start living with character and integrity. You start telling the truth. You start being vulnerable and open. You start having the balls to show up and do the stuff you were afraid to do. And so this turned into much more than fitness. In fact, the fitness stuff it's not even hard for us. It's like, that's the easy part. So now we have a group, we're on like 7 roundtable Zoom calls a week that guys can get on.
Right.
And then we have the most inspiring stories that come out of every Zoom call, because we all have shit. We all have shit that we've held that we've never shared. Whether that was getting molested as a kid, being an alcoholic for decades, trying to quit a cocaine habit, not being able to connect with your wife, but putting on this fake show at church with no one to talk to, right, who understands, who won't judge you.
So Nick basically is all of those that you just mentioned. So
hey,
Nick, you're not even going to deny it? Come on. I'm totally kidding. Of course.
There's a few things that, yeah, for sure, 100%. But there's other things where no.
So there's a guy out there right now listening to this podcast. He's watching it, and you just struck a chord with him. He's tried this, he's tried that, and it just hasn't worked. But for whatever reason, you've motivated and inspired him through this podcast. He reaches out to you. How does he reach out to you, and what happens from that point forward?
Go to my Instagram, DM me, or go to my Instagram. There's a phone number there. Text me. You can also go to superhumanfathers.com and apply. Get a time on the calendar. And what you can expect from us is a phone call from my brother, Ryan, who has been through your process, meaning lost, depressed, broken, out of shape, to 2 years later, one of the most on fire, disciplined humans on the planet, who will go over the philosophy and the nutrition with you. And then you get kicked over to my head trainer, Chris, who's going to build your workouts, put you in the app, show you how to report to us, and give you all the Zoom call times. And then we're off to the races. The adventure begins. And then your life will never be the same. Never. Because
let me ask you this real quick. I got a quick question. So back in July, I had like what I thought was a stroke, what all the doctors thought was a stroke. And like, I've been in fitness like since I was 15 years old, and it killed me. Like, I couldn't move half my body. The left side of my body went completely numb. And it's been just ongoing of back pain, headaches, all kinds of stuff. Like, I'm super depressed because I can't get my workouts the way they were. What do you do for someone like that? Like, what kind of, like, I'm starting to get my workouts back again.
Yeah.
I'm obviously going very, very slow, very easy. I've changed everything up. I'm not like gung ho of a bench press 400 pounds and be the biggest dude in the gym.
Yep.
It's more body weight stuff, more functional training.
Yeah.
But like the food side of it, like, I get super depressed, so I eat. Like, I'll eat a bunch of shit, and then I'll feel even worse, and I'll be like, oh fuck, now I got to go and get on the whole fucking diet thing for 2 days. And like, what would you do for someone like me?
All right, bro. Your power, your happiness, your fulfillment lies on the other side of your addiction. Meaning there's this gold, this treasure that's right on the other side, and you feel it. God's been whispering to you for many years to let this shit go. Stop binging, stop turning to food. And until you finally say the words, fuck this, I'm done, never again, you'll be stuck in this cycle. The hard part is you have to say never again. And to say those words is scary, because we hold on to these things like, well, what about pie? I mean, pie's good, and I want to enjoy life, right?
Right.
If you never let go of it, you don't even know what fucking enjoying life is, because you're stuck in a place of lies and sedation. And so the hard part is taking this step. I don't expect people to take this step right away at all. This is not a switch, it's a volume. And so you have to get around people that are living what I call the warrior monk life, okay? The warrior monk life is this savage fucking animal that you are. You've done some crazy shit. You're strong. You know how to lift weights. You know how to fight. But the monk side is the sweet side, the sacrificial side, the side that doesn't need anything, the side that loves unconditionally, right? The side that can connect with his wife at a very powerful spiritual level and can connect with God the same. That's the monk side. That's the side that we don't work on as much. Mm-hmm. And when our warrior side starts to feel like it's waning and we don't have the monk side in place, we feel empty, feel like a shell of a man. The monk side is putting your addictions on the altar as well. And that's where you pull power from discipline. The currency of respect for yourself is discipline. And so every time you put that on the altar, you're going to feel powerful. Men don't care about being happy. We think we do. We don't. We want to feel powerful and capable. We don't care. We'll do anything. You show us how to be powerful and capable. We'll do anything to get there. We will sacrifice all our happiness to be there. We don't care how we feel if we can feel powerful and capable. And when you start to give up the shit that's got you by the balls, man, you watch out. You watch what you become. So that's what I would tell you. And I would tell you that over and over and over and over again. And what I would tell you is come hang with me because I beat it. And I'm so fucking addicted to food, but I beat it. I beat it, man. And how did I do that, man? You know what I have? Here's the menu for me. Ready? Meat, fruit, black fucking coffee. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing.
Meat, fruit, black coffee.
That's it.
When's the last time you had a piece of pie?
Oh shit, years.
Wow,
man.
Back when I used to binge.
Yeah.
Because the taste of pie will turn me into a fucking vampire. I'll tell you the last pie. So we're watching this vampire movie. This is fucking great. I'm at the firehouse. We're watching this vampire movie. I think it was a series. I can't remember what it was called, but I'm watching this vampire movie, and the vampire he has this chick, and he's in love with her. He used to be a human. And he doesn't want to suck her blood, but she's hugging him and he smells her and he just can't take it and he sucks her blood and kills her.
Right.
And we watched that movie and I walk into the kitchen and at this time, you know, I'm lean, I'm jacked, but I still have food addictions. And I see this cherry pie on the table and I'm like, I mean, it was a bite, you know.
Right.
I already hit my macros for the day, but I probably need carbs because I'm going to lift heavy tomorrow. So I want to get that vascularity and I want some strength. Take a bite, fuck another bite. You know what? I'm just going to get a piece, take another one. Boom, fucking half the pie gone. And I was like, fuck it, might as well finish the whole thing. I got pie all over my fucking face. One of my captain walks in and he goes, what the fuck, dude? You fucking pie vampire? And I was like, oh shit, just like the movie. It was just like the show. Yep. I couldn't stop because I got a taste. And that was the last time I ate fucking pie. That was the last time. All right. Yeah, because it got me one last fucking time and never again.
The thing with Nick, though, that is, I don't think, Nick, you really have the typical addiction to food. You
guys are rad, by the way. I love this conversation.
Thanks, man. You're rad too. Oh, yeah. And we're just getting started here. I want to tell you a quick little thing about Nick. This kid was about 280 pounds, give or take.
I was 310 when we started.
Okay, I was giving you a little bit. Now let me continue. All right. So when we started this podcast, and he's always been the motivated, the workout guy, you know, and he at the beginning of this podcast started going hard and lost 80 pounds.
Fuck yeah.
Just kicking ass, shaking names. And I always gave him shit because, you know, it was just dumb. It's all you see on his social media feed, just him working out and this and that. And, you know, and it's great. And I'm proud of him. And then he had that episode, whatever the hell happened, which we still don't even have all the answers yet. And we're talking, gosh, we're pushing a year here almost, Nick.
Yeah.
And all that stopped. And upon the recommendation of, I mean, at some point, the doctors said maybe you were working out too hard, and that may have caused some of this because this guy is a Brahma bull who is just go. And he lost that. Yeah. And is still in the process of working out in his mind right now how to get that. And you say, I turn to food. You're not really, man. You're not, because if that was the case, in no time at all, you would have been back to 310 pounds. What are you at right now?
I'm at 217 right now.
217. So you're like what? Gained 7 pounds?
Well,
in all
your
this?
volume, your discipline volume turns up. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I just had a conversation with a guy who's ripped, who's binge eating, and he's killing himself because he feels the spiritual turmoil that comes from binge eating has nothing to do with his body. That's what we're talking about here.
Right.
Not about the physique. It's about
and it's not like an everyday binge eating thing. It's a once a week I'll be like,
yeah.
man,
This guy was the same. Every 2 weeks, he just wants to beat it. He doesn't want it to have a hold on him anymore. The other thing I would tell you, the other thing I would tell you is focus on being lean.
Right.
Your new focus is not being the strongest guy in the gym, but just being old and being fucking lean and ripped.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I have a buddy of mine who's an ex bodybuilder. Then he's gone through some terrible injuries and kind of had to reset his mind on, okay, I can't be the biggest fucker in the gym anymore. It's like now I've got to be able to move. I've got to be able to get to the gym just for my self improvement, just to feel good, just to see my buddies, and to get that workout in, get that little bit of a pump in. Yep. So now I've completely changed everything, and now I'm doing like full body workouts, but it's super lightweight, lots of reps.
Yes.
A lot, kind of like CrossFit, but not as intense.
Bro, you will light on fire. When you get your nutrition dialed in, your life will light on fire. You'll actually have the best time that you've ever had in your life thus far.
Awesome.
Would you consider Superhuman Fathers and Kyle what you do as a program?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Does this program include any fasting?
No.
Okay.
It can. It's very actually loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are certain boundaries I put on it. If you fit those boundaries, you will have the results that you seek. But within those boundaries, there is movement. And so because everybody's a little different in the way that they live and the things that work for them psychologically. And so there has to be a little bit of movement. If it's too stringent, it won't last. You'll burn out and it won't be something you can do forever. So this has to be a mindset and a lifestyle that you're committed to forever. And then you can shrink the box as you get better at it over time. But in the beginning, there needs to be kind of some movement available.
Right. All right. Well, there you have it. If anyone is motivated, what's your Instagram? And we're not ending this, by the way. I'm sending people where they need to go.
Superhuman Fathers, at Superhuman Fathers.
All right. And a quick little Google search like I did, you'll find it, man. And all the info you need is right there. Go check it out. If this is something that you need, want,
you all need
about,
everyone needs it.
I know, and I'm ashamed to admit. We're not going to even get into me here, okay? We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. I may possibly, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, reach out to Kyle here after this podcast and go from there. But, I need something, man. That's for damn sure. And
I will light your fucking life on fire. Like
right.
you would.
Can you add an additional 4 to 6, 8 hours into my day though? Is that something we can figure out together?
Yes, actually. We can talk a little bit about that on the call. Create time, compress time
right.
block.
Well, like Nick got a plan and he still does it. You get at 4 o'clock in the morning and get shit done before? Nope. Not anymore?
No, not since the new baby.
Oh, yeah. By the way, congratulate my man Nick here. 43 years old. Did I get your age right finally today? Yeah. 43. Yeah. So we're all basically same cloth there at age. Yeah. Just had his 7th child.
Oh, bro. Well, God bless you, dude. That's
baby
amazing.
Girl.
Thanks, man.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's insane. It's weird. Like you think you know everything about raising kids after like 5 or 6, and it's like every kid is different.
You guys are choking my ass up already. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I already know we could go 5 hours on this podcast. I already fucking know this.
We could. And let's plan for a part 2 at some point. Cause all we got is an hour and we're already halfway done. If you can believe that shit. So that is Superhuman Fathers. If you haven't already seen from our man here, Kyle, it's a pretty motivated son of a bitch right here. And that's pretty dang amazing. And all the power to you, man. And congrats on what you do, how inspiring others, turning their lives around. It's a great calling, man. And it looks like you've answered that call. and well done. I think we need to put him on Brian's podcast too.
Yes.
We have a friend of ours. His name's Brian Hopkins. He's the front man of the band. Elvis Monroe, a business partner of ours as well. He has the Hero's Journey podcast based out of Las Vegas. And it's all about, answering that call to adventure, whatever it may be. And the hero's journey.
Yeah.
Okay. Brian, I don't know how this turned into a freaking promotion for your podcast here. But if ever there was someone who I've met right off the bat, who I can actually say is a real life hero, it's this man right here, Kyle. So let's get him on your show, brother. All right. Moving on. Let's not get so serious here. Let's talk
about supplements. Do you use supplements?
Not really. I have a pre-workout. I started my own pre-workout company before I started coaching. Just learn entrepreneurism. I didn't even care if it sold or not. I was just like, I got to learn marketing. I got to learn like building businesses. I didn't know anything. And so started this pre-workout company called Roll Fast Burn. And I kind of shut it down because the coaching was like, I had to focus, an entrepreneur mind, our visionary mind, just ping ponging all over the place, trying to do 17 things at once and doing shitty at all of them.
Nick knows that.
So I just went, no, that's it. Superhuman Fathers, that's what we're doing. And then I had a couple guys that have been through my program that are like, Kyle, please, we love your supplements. Please. I'm like, dude, I don't have time. I'm not putting money in that direction. They were like, we have the money. We'll buy the product. Just let us show you that we can run it. I was like, fucking go for it, dude. You want to pay for it. You want to order it. Like, you can get your money back. And if you show me you can run it, then I'll fucking let you run it. Maybe we'll do a split or something. So that's what's going on with that right now. So that's that supplement. I recently got on the fucking TRT as a old fucking man. Okay. I was having a hard time getting the boner for like 4 months. My wife was like, bro, are you broken? And I was like, oh shit. Because the T's been low.
I'm a big believer in that stuff, man.
It's been low for like 7 years, but firemen have low T because they don't sleep, So like, we're always waking up all night. So I go get tested. It's like 200 something, but I was lean and I had muscle and I was crushing life. So I was like, I'll just wait. And then my wife hit me up like this one, like about a year ago. And she's like, hey, are you broken, bro? And I was like, oh shit. So then I went and checked it, had dropped again. And then my doc hooked me up and we're back. Yes. So, but supplement wise, like that's it really. Like I think I take DHEA and pregnenolone. The doctor prescribed me that shit too.
Okay.
Like the neuro shit. I should probably know more about it, but fuck. My doctor's smart, so I just listen to him.
There you go.
Is the possibility of superhuman fathers turning into superhuman grandfathers in the next 10, 15 years?
Bro, we have a couple. Like, we have a couple guys in their 50s that got so fucking ripped. Like, this one dude, he came to me as a full-blown alcoholic. And like I got his ass so ripped and he quit drinking. It was the gnarliest like life transformation. Like it's just to be a part of it was absolutely insane. I'm gonna try to find it for you. But it's deep in here now because I have so many damn transformations. They just like keep popping off.
All right, let's talk real here. How many failures have you gotten?
Dude, that guy's 54.
But see, you know what? I'm looking at the before, and I would look at him and say that man's not out of shape.
Yeah, but that's because we're elite at everything that we fucking do. So we just go all the way with everything. So and no, it's never good enough. No, people are like, well, but when are you ever going to be happy? Who's fucking happy? Fuck happiness. What'd I say? Power and capability. That's what we're after. And if you keep on growing and you keep on progression, you keep on winning, you keep on crushing, you're going to feel amazing.
How many people drop out?
We get guys that are stuck for a while. So like that guy was pretty quick. It was like 4 months.
Yeah.
We have guys that come in and kill it. And then we have guys that hang out for a while and they have some shit they need to get over. Like I have a guy that's been with me for a year and 3 months. He lost 50 pounds. And he's kind of stuck in that like dad bod normal zone. And we just had a breakthrough last week where he's like, we kind of had to come to Jesus. I was like, he came to one of our events, and at the end of the event, we have a conversation. It's like, all right, we had this jerk off party for 3 days and feels great. We're all excited. So what the fuck are you actually going to do? You know, and then we sit there and just wait for people to talk. And I had one of the guys he's a master brewer, and that's what he does. He's a brewer, and he's like pacing over there in his chair back and forth. He's like, I was like, Big Al, what you got, dude? And he's just like, the booze got to go, man. And I was like, oh shit. I go, be careful. This is a blood oath, my friend.
Right.
So I'm gonna let you rethink that, because you're gonna have to kill your old self, which is the best thing you can do. But I want you to understand how serious this is. We don't go back. If we say this, we're making a declaration to this council of men here. We will hold you accountable. And if you go back, I will kill you. He's like, what? I'm like, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to kill you. I might. Let's just throw that out there. But he threw that out there. And then my other buddy, who's been with me a year and 2 months, he's like, hey, cookies, cake, donuts, candy, fucking gone. I go, for how long? He's like, I know the answer to this question. He's like, for life, gone, forever. And I'm like, okay. So that was what he needed to do to get to the next level. And he'd been working on him for over a year. Thought would come in his head, I just got to get rid of this. But he's like, no, I mean, I got to enjoy life. I mean, you know, but what about on a birthday with my kids? And I mean, I can't. Negotiation, stuck until he declares it, makes it happen, moves forward. Watch what happens. That guy will be one of my transformations soon. And my guys don't go back. They don't go back. So out of all my transformations, we've got over 60 now of just solid, rock solid, high level transformations. Within that have been guys that have gotten close, but they didn't get posted because they got to earn that. So right. I have guys that have lost a shit ton of weight, haven't made it all the way yet. They're still working on it. But I've only had 2 guys go back and gain a little bit of fat. Like you'd still look at them and be like, oh, they're pretty in shape, but our eyes different. We squash the box down of expectations for yourself in everything, in your fatherhood, the way you show up in your marriage, in your body, the way you run your business. That's the mindset.
What do you think, Nick?
I like it. Intense. I like it.
Yeah, Nick's a psycho. I can already feel it.
He's pretty nuts. You know, back when we, a year and a half ago, right before this unfortunate whatever happened to Nick, we had a guy, UFC fighter by the name of Josh Berkman on. He holds to this day still the record for the fastest knockout in UFC. We had him on the show, and Nick challenged him to a friggin' fight, like for real. Like, we're not angry at each other, but he's like, let's do something for charity. Okay. And Nick is as badass as he ain't that badass. Okay. And it was going to happen, man. We were going to set up a charity event and all this money going to a good cause. And Nick just had to like dance around the ring for, avoid not getting hit for a minute or two
for like 30, 45 seconds. That would have been awesome.
Right. He just wanted to pull a Rocky. He just want to finish, but he got sick and it hasn't happened, but that's the mindset of that guy over there.
That's beautiful.
I call him the tenacious one.
Into jiu-jitsu. I was doing jiu-jitsu.
I think that's what hurt you, dude.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we were pretty sure I got my neck twisted really bad and it tore a hole in my spine.
Oh, bro. I've heard of this so many times with the carotid shit. Yeah.
And but dude, you're not dead yet.
Nope.
And they got answers. And I think your hole resealed itself. That sounds very strange. I apologize.
That's kind of what they're thinking. Yeah. Now it's just weird lumps in my spine and arthritis in my neck and headaches that'll probably never go away, but whatever.
Well,
maybe it's better. Maybe you're actually already dead.
This is really good for you. Bucked up energy, clean energy, no sugar, no crap.
Oh, bro.
You can order it on our website, dadcast.co.
Sponsor time.
God, dude, I just gave those up like 2 weeks ago, and I'm a mess.
Yeah,
I can't do that. I can't do ones with sugar. If I do something, if it has any sugar in it at all, it kills me.
Listen, I don't say they're bad. In fact, the science with all the diet sodas and shit is like pretty shaky, showing that it's bad. I think it's great. I think it fucking helps people lose weight, to be honest. I've always drank diet soda, Monsters, all that shit. I just had that voice tell me a couple of weeks ago, it's time for this now. And I was like, God damn it. No.
Kyle, dude, if you keep this up, you're going to be down to nothing.
Bro,
you're going to be down to fruit and what you're down to fruit, meat, coffee. That's it.
That's
you're
it.
Like Liver King here pretty soon. Just eat fucking raw deer and shit out in the woods.
Hey, but then I can take even more extra special supplements.
There you go. Just don't lie about it on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, just don't lie. Don't fucking lie about it. That's the key.
Yeah.
You can do whatever the fuck you want. Just don't lie about it.
Exactly.
Although I think he's making more money than ever now.
Yeah.
Right. It worked for him.
Supposed to lie about it.
Where are you located, man? Where's home base?
Oceanside, California. North San Diego.
Yep, I know. I grew up in Thousand Oaks, California, man. So,
yeah. All right.
30 years down there, pretty close. Are you a Charger fan? You a football fan?
Not really, man. Like
not a sports guy.
When I was in the firehouse in Colorado, that was my first fire job, and I was on probation, and they were like, we were watching football, and they were asking me questions, and I was not knowing anything about the game, and they were like, bro, I never met a grown man that knew less about football than you. So they had me call my wife. She's on the speaker, and they did a quiz show on the whiteboard.
Right.
And my wife beat me, and it was humiliating, and it was perfect for the firehouse because we like to humiliate each other. So I'm glad that I could give them that. That was my gift.
There you go. Well, all right. Okay. So you're not a sport. I mean, for a guy of your nature and just
so crazy. I'm not a
stamina and ripped, and you'd think you'd be badass at some sports.
Well, I ride my sports like a fucking banshee still.
Yeah.
So I hit concrete hard every fucking day. My hips have watermelons on them, and I got swell bows.
Yeah.
I've done martial arts my whole life. Started with Aikido, which doesn't work. Don't do that. Don't do that martial art. I did it for 10 years, and then I got punched in the face and double legged and elbowed in the face. And I was like, wow, Aikido didn't help me there at all.
Right.
So then I did some MMA training. I never fought in a fight, and some jiu-jitsu and some kickboxing stuff. I'm very, very, very sucky and amateur at all of it, but I did a lot of that. And surfing, grew up surfing a shit ton. Many, many hours in the ocean. So
you know who would be like, I think they would be best friends in a different universe, Nick? Kyle and Sean Patrick Flannery.
Yeah.
Who is that? That sounds familiar.
He was in Boondock Saints. Oh, and he was in Dexter. He's a big movie star.
Okay. That's why
he's like a jiu-jitsu. He just won a jiu-jitsu championship. He's a badass. It's like, yeah, it's like I see both of you and each other in this interview. You should go back when we're done. If you feel like it, go check out his interview.
I will.
And he's right there. I mean, yeah. I don't know. There's an observation. Well, Nick, backstory. I have worked in radio for the past 20 years. We did a segment in many of my radio shows back in the day called the Fast Five. It was where I'd get, whoever these musicians would come on, Joe Perry, Aerosmith, George Thorogood, you name it.
Yeah.
And we'd ask them 5 quick questions, total random, not important, not life-changing questions, simple things. And we incorporated it here into the podcast, and I give it to Nick. Let's go.
All right. If you could have a billboard with anything on it, what would it be and why?
We do the most, we need the least, right there on my shirt.
Nice.
That's it, man. That's how we show up. We don't need shit. We're just here to serve. Cool.
What's your favorite food to cook for your kids?
Meat.
When they were younger.
Meat.
Well, shit, you guys.
Hey, listen. This is the raddest thing. When you cook cinnamon rolls, the most delicious cinnamon rolls for your kids, and you don't even eat them, you're such a fucking badass.
Yeah, I know that feeling, man.
There's been many times I wanted to eat them, and I didn't get a chance to eat them. They are little fucking vampires.
Speaking of vampires.
Yeah. So when you're working out, full body workouts versus targeted workouts?
Dude, I've been down with like push pull legs for the last like over a year, man. Like
Okay.
push pull legs, push pull legs. I love it, man.
Nice. Your proudest parenting moment?
Man, I was just writing about this morning. When my daughter was born, I had this crazy feeling I just needed to get my shit together even more, you know. And this would not exist if my daughter was never born. I wouldn't have the physique or body that I have. I wouldn't have the integrity that I have. I wouldn't have the drive that I have if my daughter wasn't born. And I'm just proud to have a daughter, man. I had 4 boys. I didn't want a girl ever. And when I had her, my whole life changed.
And she was, again, the youngest, right?
We need to get him back on in about 13 years.
Yeah. How old is she right now?
She's 2.
Yeah. That whole statement's going to be like, can we give her back?
Yeah. If
a monastery during that time.
If I had a buck for every guest who's, I'd say 99% of those guests, I'd have like, $150. It gets tough. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. There's just all of a sudden those loves of your life, those things that you would stop a goddamn train for, hate you, and it just like that for no reason. It's like what just happened? Where'd that little girl that? Why? What is happening? And getting through that, and not expressing to them how painful it is because you don't want to be that guy. It's tough. It is ridiculous. Well, I'm still going through it.
All the other weird things you have to deal with as a parent to a girl versus a boy. Like girls start bringing boys home. It's different than when the boys start bringing girls home.
Totally different, man.
Completely different dynamic. And it's all those little things you're like, man.
I don't want to kill my son's girlfriends.
Right. Exactly. No, you don't. But you sure shit want
to. Yeah.
Not to incriminate you, but in bodily harm. I mean, God, it was what do we have? St. Patrick's Day. My oldest, she's 18. She's moved out, and she brought a boyfriend over. The first like real boyfriend for dinner on St. Patrick's Day, and she doesn't even live in the house anymore. And it was just so strange. I don't know why, but I felt compelled to show him my AR collection. It was.
Yeah. He probably likes guns. You got to check these out.
Right. Yeah, exactly. With throwing a little bit of passive aggressiveness in there. But it's difficult, man. Enjoy these times. It's because there's going to be, and it's so frustrating because like, this is your love of your life, this little girl. And all of a sudden you're losing her, but you're not, it's friggin' terrible. And thankfully I still got her, she's 9. She'll be 10 in a month.
Is there something you could put in her food to just stunt her growth?
No, there isn't. I wish. If we, I'm still trying to figure out the whole time machine thing. That would be the best bet. I just or the opportunity to go relive a moment when they were younger. That sec 2-year-old birthday party. Things like that. But you can't. So what I'm looking forward to is, and it can wait, okay, but part of me is waiting for and looking forward to the day my daughter has a daughter. And if that ever happens, and then I can give them back, but that right there is probably going to be the biggest, most important day in the history of my life, I think, when my little girl has a little girl. I don't mean to get mushy and all that, but that's it's incredibly important. I'm sorry, Nick, I interrupted the Fast Five.
Last one. What's your funniest parenting fail?
That's a good one. Let's see. What? This is a weird story. It's not really that good of a fail. Man, I'm usually not lost for words. You got me good on this one. We might have to edit out the break.
You know why? Because you never fail.
Ah,
Oh
no. Funniest. That's the problem.
Okay.
Fails. I can think of all kinds of fails. But oh God. Oh my God. I have a good one. Oh my God. Okay. So I decided it would be a good idea to take my 9-year-old and my 11-year-old to climb Mount Whitney before the snow melted. And I'm not a mountaineer, nor do I have any business climbing glaciers.
Right.
Never. Crampons, the whole works. My wife and I take our 2 boys to climb Mount Whitney. We reach the top glacier, and my son has a terrible headache, and I'm like, that can't be good.
Right.
I'm a paramedic, so I mean, one thing I read was when you had a headache and you're climbing, that could be really bad. We kind of sat there for a little bit, and we all wanted to climb the summit, but somebody's got to stay with my son, and he's like, Dad, I'm going. And I was like, bro, you might die. He's like, Dad, I didn't come this far to not go. And I was like, I ain't gonna stop you, dude. Let's fucking go. So we tied a rope to him. My wife tied a rope to my other son, and we humped this glacier. And it was the hardest shit I've ever done in my life. And my son's right behind me, and my wife and my other son are right behind him. We trudge up this damn thing. We sit in the snow, and we all fucking cry for 30 minutes, like ugly tears. Most beautiful thing in the world. We have this moment. I go, all right, let's get down this thing. I go, there's a crevasse in the glacier. It's like a slide, a chute.
Right.
I go, we're going down the chute. I'm not climbing down this bullshit.
You ever seen the movie Cliffhanger? I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah, I probably should have watched that first. So we get in the chute. I've got both of them tied to me. My wife's like, I'm not going down that thing. You guys are stupid. I go, we're not climbing down this. We're sliding. We start sliding down, going pretty well. And then we start going too fast. So I put my feet in. Well, now the snow starts to build up, starts to cover my kids up. Now my kids are under the snow, sliding down the thing. They're trying to stop. I go, don't stop, just go. And so now we're shooting down this thing. God knows how fast.
Right.
Fucking gnarly. And I'm like, I don't think there were rocks down here, but I'm not 100% sure. And there is a rock outcropping. I'm like, we might fucking die. So we're sliding down this thing, Mach 10. We come sliding out the bottom of it. Luckily, we don't hit any rocks. I come up. My kids are gone. And I'm like, oh, shit. Luckily, I have a rope. I pull the rope. I pull one kid out, and I pull the other one out from under the fucking snow. And they're just like, eyes wide open.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Now, I don't know how funny that is, but it's pretty fucking crazy. And to this day, I go, what was your best trip? And they go, Mount Whitney by far.
The memories, man. The near-death experience.
yeah.
All thanks to Dad.
I'm an idiot. So dumb, but so awesome.
How old's your oldest?
16.
So take us back about 17 years ago. You got a text message, a phone call, a conversation. You were going to become a dad for the first time. You remember that day?
Yeah, I do.
How'd that go?
Yeah, we had purchased this condo, 2-bedroom condo in Oceanside. We were really excited about owning something. It felt amazing. And my wife was sitting on the couch. I came home from work. I worked at a bank at the time. And she had sitting on the couch with a card. And she's just sitting there holding it. Like kind of just hold on to it. And then She just handed it over to me. And I opened it up and just said, I'm pregnant. You're going to be a daddy. I don't think I've ever revisited that story, man. Ever.
Well, there you go, man. Dadcast, baby.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. I mean, that wasn't was not what I was trying to do, but hey, if it works and this is what I love this podcast, man. It's different. It hits different than a lot of the other podcasts out there. That's why I think you reached out to us. Someone on your team reached out to us, I believe, to be on the show. And that happens a lot when it comes to us because, you you get this A-list celebrity movie star, they're generally talking about their next movie or, what's coming up now, but you give them the opportunity to talk about their kids if they want to, they're all in. And that's what most of, our guests have said. Just like, that's what intrigued me about it. We're generally try to talk about our kids and being a dad for most of the episode. And that's what drew me to it. And if I could bring a memory out like that you haven't thought of in a while, well, awesome. Now, that's actually a 2-part question, though. So there's that. Okay. 9 months later, 16 years ago, give or take, were you there for the birth, and how'd that day go?
Yeah, I think I had to leave the firehouse. I was on shift, and I had just got LASIK surgery. So I had these big dorky glasses.
Right.
They were the only ones they gave me. And I was getting LASIKs. So I had to wear the glasses because you can't wear your contacts for like a week before the surgery. That's what it was. And so I remember those glasses. And at the time I was, I wasn't a paramedic yet. So I cut the cord. I've cut a lot of cords now, my own kids and others.
Right.
But that was the first cord that I cut. Was my 16-year-old Gavin. And strangely enough, I felt like I was going to do that a lot more times, and not just for my kids. I kind of had this inkling that I was going to be in this medical side of things, which is interesting. I've gotten to birth some kids that weren't mine on bathroom floors and in cars. And so, it's just interesting when you think of your own and then you do that for others. But what a moment that was, man. I mean, what a moment, a rush of responsibility and like this desire to be a better man immediately.
Right. What about the fear? Because you're lying to me if you tell me you weren't afraid.
Well, for my first 2 kids, I thought it was selfish to bring someone into this world, this dark and painful place, to bring a kid into a place that now they're going to suffer. And there was that part of me truly believed that, almost felt like bad for them for being in this world. And my outlook has completely changed now. Now my view on suffering is that this is the greatest gift we can have from God, is to go through hardships so that we can strengthen ourselves. And now that's what I teach my kids as they watch me, the way that I live my life, how I lean into the struggles and I appreciate them. And they're learning to do that at a young age. It took me 30 some years to even start understanding that. But I was terrified for them at the time. And now I'm not.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Kyle Carnohan, superhuman father. We're almost out of time. I have one final question for you. It is the most important question I like to ask on this show. At least I like to think it is. But before I ask it, I don't want to be greedy here, Nick. You got anything else today, brother?
Are you going to ask the George Thorogood question?
Do you want me to ask the George Thorogood question?
I do. I think he's going to probably have like one of the best answers.
Okay. Well, thanks for giving away the answer by making it that way, by the way. And you're confused, Kyle. You're confused.
I just have a feeling that he's going to have.
Okay. I'll ask it. Then I have 2 questions. The last one will be the important one. As I mentioned before, I worked in radio forever, and I asked, lame questions, important questions, the general run-of-the-mill questions. This was one that I asked every single guest, and usually the answers were generic and lame, the ones you'd expect, until a certain someone answered it so profoundly, it blew me away. And it took about 15 years before anyone came close to matching that answer. I usually preface this by saying, I'll let you know who answered that question. But unfortunately, Nick did the George Thorogood. So now George Thorogood answered this question profoundly. But it's simply this.
I'm thoroughly nervous to just utterly shit the bed right now.
Okay, don't worry. But see, I've given you enough teaser information for you to maybe form, we'll see. Yeah. So that question is, what is one thing you can't leave the house without?
Oh, wow. God. Generic.
Right. Right. And there's no pressure. There's no right or wrong answer here, man.
Come on, bro. I mean,
and when I give away the answer, if you don't come close, you will feel like an asshole. Just so you know.
All right, listen. I'll just go with full, just fucking cheese ball.
Okay.
I can't leave the house without my integrity.
Okay. See,
I like it.
There you go. Not generic. Not nearly as generic as my phone.
Cell phone.
You know, my keys. So George Thorogood, without skipping a beat, says, "What's one thing I can't leave my house without? Kissing my wife."
Oh God! Wow!
Right.
And I think, was it Sean Patrick Flannery was like the next one that.
No, it was
Jonathan
Sheck.
Yeah.
He came pretty close to answering it the same way, and it took like 15 years.
Yeah.
And that just you find these rare men who their brain is just, it functions just a little bit different, and you know, you're one of them because you didn't go generic. I did hint you, I did goad you along, but the answer, that's a good one. I've never had that answer before, and you are now in the Mount Rushmore of the answering of that question. I'm telling you, George Thorogood, Jonathan Sheck, Sean Patrick Flannery, and Kyle Carnohan, man. There's the Mount Rushmore, the answer to that question.
In the club.
You are in the club. And it's got to be a top 5. So, until someone else boots you out, you are in. Good, sir. Now, the final question. As I mentioned before, I pride myself on this one. I feel it's very important. Kyle, superhuman father, what is one piece of advice you would give to any new father or about to be a new father?
There's going to be a lot of inner turmoil, a lot. And you're going to want to take it out on your kids and your wife. Most do, and most destroy their lives, and most live miserably because of it. If you can detach yourself from the bullshit chemicals in your head that you think run your life and give them the man that they need regardless, you will flourish in everything that you do in your life. Don't let the bullshit, stress, the things that don't matter make you lose your soul and ruin your family.
There you go. Very, very profound. And, it's so simple, but it isn't. You think it's so simple, but it isn't. But do it. You follow those words and things will be great. I think I need to take every answer to that question, Nick, and put it together in one episode, just the answer to all that, and then see what we get. And I think that would form the perfect dad to answer all those questions. Again, ladies and gentlemen,
dad.
Yeah, he is Kyle Carnohan, superhuman father. Reach out to him if you need life-changing stuff. I'm gonna. And bro, thank you so much for coming on Dadcast. I did say I had a final question, and I thought it was, but now I've actually just thought of one more, but it's not, it's not deep. It's more of a request of you, if you are interested in, and it's coming up, Nick, you better start making some phone calls. Every single year we do a Father's Day episode. We do not do it on Father's Day. We recorded a couple of weeks prior, and we get about 40 boxes full of a bunch of dads who were on the show the previous year. I would extend an invite to you, good sir, if that's something you're interested in, time allowing, of course. Sure. And you join with a bunch of, we're talking a smorgasbord of, movie stars, athletes, musicians, just a crap ton of crazy, amazing dads who've been on the
Kyle.
show. and you are part of that group, man. Come on. We'd love to have you on. And is that something you'd be down for?
Absolutely, 100%, man.
Yeah, dude, it'd be crazy. It's fun because you just get all of a sudden stories start being told, and this guy's talking to this guy, and it's great. It's good stuff. So we will reach out to you with that.
Probably within the next week. I'm actually working on. I've been working on it for the last couple of days, trying to figure out what day and
right
what's going to work.
Easy peasy, man. But we'd love to have you on, man. You're an amazing guy.
For sure.
Yeah, and definitely, we're gonna pencil you in for part 2. We need more time. We didn't even talk about your kids, really.
One of my favorite podcasts I've ever been on.
Really?
Dude, I've done like 35 in the last year, and this is one of my favorite ones.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Again, that's what. It's not the favorite though. Come on, Kyle.
Dude, you guys are real. Like it just flows, man. Like that's what I love. Like,
and another thing, and there's the trailer.
There it is
for this episode. No, that's another thing. We've had like PR people who've hit us up and try to, become part of the team and tell us how to do things. It just the first damn thing I tell them is no, I ain't doing what you think we did this. It's working the way it's been. It ain't broke. Don't fix it. I'm not going to script this son of a bitch. I am not no, I ain't going to go fake. If it goes terrible from the get-go, then that's what we get that show. If it goes great and it flows, then that's what then great. But I will be damned if I ever preempt and write down a list of questions that I'm going to do and time it at this point and this point. And okay, we've got to this part, so now let's change it up. No, man, I go with the flow, and that's where we ended up. Here we are. So I will not ever apologize for that.
Love it.
Good talk. Kyle Carnohan, brother, thank you so much again to everyone watching this worldwide, however you may be listening, wherever you may be. Thank you so much for your support. We love you. We appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and do all the things. And we'll catch you on the very next episode next week. Have a great rest of your day. See ya.
And check out our brother podcast, The Rockstar Dad Show with Gary and Jarrett from Bowling for Soup.
Peace. What he said.